All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of James's Corner. I am your host, James Richardson. And before we get started today, I just want to invite everybody to subscribe to the YouTube channel, share these videos with your family and friends. And today I have a very, very special guest on, a friend of mine, a warrior in the CF community, Matthew Marceau. He's a professional pickleball player. We want to get into his story about who he is and his journey with CF and just his life in general. So, Matthew, I appreciate you coming on today.
Dude, honored to be here, James. Really appreciate you having me on, man. Ready to fire up here, baby.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. I appreciate you coming on. Just for the audience, Matthew, if nobody knows who you are, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, what you do. We'll just start there.
Yeah. Name's Matthew Marceau. I just turned 36 years old, so I have over doubled my predicted life expectancy at birth, which is great. Yeah, I play a little bit of professional pickleball. I teach a ton too, so I actually teach traveling pickleball camps all over the country with the McGuffin Signature Pickleball Camp. So I'm on the road about 20 weeks of the year teaching pickleball camps. Dude, yeah, so I love it.
Awesome, awesome. Let's start with a little bit of your story with cystic fibrosis. Can you just start at the beginning for us and tell us your CF story, your diagnosis, what you've been through with the illness?
Yeah. So I was actually I was diagnosed pre in the womb because I have an older sibling that has CF as well. So they kind of knew to look for it. So I was unlike most people. They knew I had CF before I even came out.
Wow.
But yeah, I was born in '89, and dude, CF was a little bit different back then than it is now. Like the treatments and stuff were. Well, I mean, frankly, they kind of sucked. You
Yeah.
know, it was a lot of just like the physical PTs, tons of nebulizers. Yeah, so I mean, I was very fortunate that I had parents that, that worked their asses off to make sure that we got the care we needed and would, take time out of their days to do the physical treatments because, you don't have to do those anymore,
Right.
thankfully. But yeah, back in the day, you're just grinding out, different positions. They're just kind of hitting you in the chest and
Mm-hmm.
trying to move some stuff around. So that's not fun for anyone involved. So I was very blessed to have parents that were willing to kind of stick it out with me.
Absolutely. So I just want to backtrack just a little bit because your story is very interesting because you have an older brother with CF as well.
Yeah, correct.
How much older is he than you?
He is like 2.5 years older than me.
Wow. Okay. So explain the process of how they discovered that you have CF in the womb because I haven't heard this one before. I haven't
So
heard somebody being diagnosed in a womb before.
I actually don't know how the process works. I'm just going by what my mom has told me is
I
that
see.
they knew. I mean, because my brother I think got diagnosed very shortly after birth. But then they knew to test. And I also had a sister that unfortunately passed away at birth who also would have had it.
Wow.
It ran in the family. So they knew to kind of test,
So
but I don't know the actual specifics.
every child would have had CF that was born.
No, I have another older brother who does not have it.
Wow, that is so interesting.
So
And does
I
anybody
know,
else
yeah, I
have it in your
mean,
whole entire family? Does anybody else have it?
no. But both my parents were
Wow.
carriers, and they didn't know.
Wow.
Now you can test. I think before and
Uh-huh.
tell if you're a carrier. I think back in the day they didn't have that kind of testing available.
I see. Wow. Okay. And let's talk a little bit about your journey with CF. Did they give you a life expectancy? Give us your childhood with CF and what you've been through with it.
So like I mean I've been super blessed in my health, but I've been pretty fortunate. Of course, everyone with CF has plenty of issues to deal with.
Yeah.
But like my parents didn't tell me. I knew it was very serious because like we got to do like the Make-A-Wish, right? And that's for terminal patients, right? So I knew it was not great, but
Right.
no, my parents didn't ever sit down and talk to me about that. I found that out on my own, which kind of sucked. But that's got to be tough. I mean, I actually found out in middle school. I had a friend come up to me and he's like, "Dude, I'm so sorry. I can't believe you're gonna die when you're 15." I was like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
You found out what in middle school? You found out that you were had.
I felt like I knew I had a serious condition, right? But I didn't
Uh-huh.
know the full ramifications. And like my parents didn't tell me because they also knew like the doctors that said, hey, like this is the life expectancy now, but like there's going to be treatments for it. Like it's going to keep going up. So, if I had to guess, my parents didn't want to freak me out, and they also knew that, hey, just because this is what it is right now, that's not,
Right.
it's not a life sentence, so like they didn't tell me for, they have their own reasons, and I don't hold it against them because my parents fucking sacrificed everything for me.
Right.
But no, so I knew it was serious, but then I found out I had a friend come up to me in middle school. I think I was in like sixth or seventh grade, and I'm still friends with this guy to this day. And I guarantee he doesn't even remember saying this, but he was just like, "Dude, I can't believe you're gonna die when you're 15." And I was just like,
And how did he know this? Where did he hear all this?
well, because my friends knew I had CF,
Okay.
and then of course I'm assuming parents, they talk to the parents and they look it up, and when you do like a quick Google search of it, it's really bad,
Yeah.
especially back in the day. So I had a buddy come up to me and then I was okay, well, what the hell? And then I started doing my own research, and then I was like, oh shit, like
That's a
that's
rabbit hole. That's a rabbit hole to go down.
yeah. So I kind of discovered that on my own, and yeah, that was not great. I definitely changed up how I was thinking about life,
Yeah.
and like school. I mean, after that, I was like tanking school. I was like, dude, the fuck you talking about? I'm not coming to school. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, hell no. Um, so yeah, so it was that was not super easy to deal with, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, physically, I've been pretty blessed. I've had a couple pretty serious health scares, but overall, I do a really good job taking care of myself and stay on top of my treatments and everything. But yeah, that was wild to
Wow.
kind of look that up when you're a kid,
Yeah,
and you're just
absolutely.
like, how the hell do you yeah, how do you rationalize that? It was a little tough.
Yeah, it's very tough. Well, thanks for sharing that. I want to touch a little bit on the sibling thing because I think this is very
Yeah.
interesting. When you guys are like, obviously, because I'm sure that you guys are sick at different times, or maybe you guys become sick at the same time. How do you guys navigate that? Is it like a support for each other, or can you walk us through the process of having siblings with the same illness as you? Does it bring you guys closer together, or is it something that you guys, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just tough, right? Like obviously, I'm like super blessed to have someone, especially growing up, to kind of lean on with that, because
Yeah,
he was older than me, so pretty much everything that I had to go through, he had already been through. So I kind of witnessed it, and he could walk me through it. But also kind of tough as well because my brother actually has a little bit work. He's struggled with his health a little bit more than I have.
I see.
Um, so while super fortunate to have a sibling, someone to lean on stuff, also kind of, sucks seeing someone you love going through those things as well. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Um, but no, dude, that guy's an animal, man. Like, I don't know how my brother does it. That guy is like, I mean, he's in nursing school now. He's got 2 kids. I
Oh
mean, the
wow.
guy is just, no, dude, the guy is unbelievable.
Did he have
Um,
kids naturally, Matthew, or
no, they did the IVF route.
and it worked?
Yeah, yes, yeah, and they had a really tough time for the first one. I mean, I think they were down like their last shot,
Wow.
and they were trying for a long time, and they had their little miracle baby, and
Wow.
then second go around was way easier for him, thankfully. So yeah, so
And the kids didn't have CF or any problem?
no, the kids are good to go. Yeah,
Wow.
so yeah, it's amazing. So because they never thought, I mean, growing up, you never thought having kids with CF was something that would be possible, So it's amazing that
Absolutely.
to see it come to life.
Absolutely. I want to talk a little bit about, you said you had a sibling that passed away at birth.
Yes.
Would you mind talking a little bit about that, if that's okay?
Oh, she was older, so I actually, the story I know is that she passed away at birth, and she would have been my oldest sibling. So that was one that I never really, I think it was a tough one on my parents, so
Sure, sure.
that was one growing up that, we would like celebrate a birthday every now and then, but there wasn't a ton of dialogue
Mm.
growing up about that one. So I know
What
I
was the
feel bad for my
cause?
mom.
How did that happen? Do you know why how it happened or
I
what happened?
I don't I actually don't
Wow.
even know the exact cause. Yeah, that one hasn't been discussed a ton in my family.
I understand.
I feel bad for my mom because she's got three maniac boys. Like would have been her one girl, So you hate to see it.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, sorry to hear that. I just wanted to see if you had a little bit of background on that, but it's okay. Matthew, I want to talk a little bit about because the way that me and you met was through the CF Foundation. We were
Yeah, yeah.
at an event together, and you got honored as CF's finest for LA. Can you just tell us about that award you received and how that came about?
Yeah, yeah. It's actually funny. So I moved to LA from Spokane, Washington in 2016. And dude, I don't know how other people see up to it, but for me, like growing up, everything like I never wanted fucking anyone to know. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's
me too.
one of the I mean benefits and not benefits of CF being like an invisible illness is like you can hide it pretty well, particularly from people who aren't close to you. No one would know. Like, I mean, no, I see you. You're just a jacked beast. You know what I mean? I would never think, someone has a chronic illness.
Thank you.
But I knew that growing up, so I would just fuck it. I would hide that from everyone.
How long did you hide it for? How long?
God, until I was late 20s, probably. People close to me would know.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah.
Of course, but
And
no, I
what
didn't
made you
want
want to
anyone.
start sharing? What made you want to start
I,
sharing?
honestly, because when I growing up, besides my brother, I didn't know anyone with CF.
Uh,
It's like anytime you did research on CF, all it would be is people dying, people that are
right.
being sick.
Yeah.
So growing up, that was what I assumed life was going to be like getting older. It's just quality of life just continues to drop until eventually you die pretty young. And
Yeah.
then I actually got on Instagram and I started seeing other people with CF, right? That were like badasses, like doing really cool things, and like it really inspired me. And like I saw your page and I saw like Kyle Wanatabi's
Yeah.
page, and I was like blown away. So I was like, what the guys have CF and is running an Ironman? I'm like, dude,
Crazy. Yeah,
that's unbelievable,
it is.
and yeah, and I was like super inspired by it, and I was like, oh wow, there actually are, uh, you know, people doing cool things.
Yeah.
Um, Sorry.
No, it's all
So
good, bro. Take your time. I'm with you. I'm with you.
so that was really eye opening to me, and like seeing other people that have the courage. God
No,
damn it.
take your time, bro.
Uh,
I'm with you. No rush. No worries.
um, Seeing other people that have the courage to get out there
Yeah,
gave me the courage to. Um,
absolutely.
so yeah, it was that was uh also where it's like, dude, okay, get out of your own head, like, dude, you don't
Yeah.
need to hold on to your pain like it's some
Right.
like some heroic thing, and
Right.
like and people don't care, you know what I mean? Like I was so afraid of people's judgment, like I want to be normal, I don't want to be,
Yeah. Ain't that the
and like
truth?
yeah, and no one cares, dude. Like the reaction you get when you do come forward is like it's all positive, and it's usually
Yeah.
people like, oh my god, dude, like that's like unbelievable. I didn't know you had that, and so it was more of just like, dude, I got it. Like I also I hold a ton of stuff in, like, and I was like, shit, like doesn't
Yeah.
really help me out at all either. So I was like, all right, I'll kind of slow to get out there. And
Yeah.
then when I got the nomination, I was really hesitant to do it because they were like, you got to get on stage and speak, and I didn't want to do it, but I was like,
Yeah. It's a lot.
yeah, I was like, you know what, I'll do it. So yeah, I was That was a great night.
Yeah, that was a good night.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know, honestly, like seeing like your stuff on social media was really one of the things that helped me kind of break out as well.
Oh, I
So like
appreciate that.
major shout out to you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Really
Yeah, I
appreciate it.
appreciate that, bro. And I can understand your emotion, bro, because it's a lot. It's a lot, bro. It's tough, especially when you're keeping it all held in, right? And
Yeah.
you can't express it, and then you finally see somebody that you can relate to. It's like, wow, there's
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
somebody that actually feels my pain and can understand my pain because
Yeah.
it's just such an isolating, lonely illness. And we can feel like we can totally feel like we're by ourselves through going through all this stuff. And when you see somebody online, right, and you see somebody, wow, this guy can do this and this, my story is very similar to you because that's one of the reasons why I started advocating because I was by myself and I couldn't find anybody to relate to. And I felt so
Yeah.
alone and by myself and hopeless. And then I was like, wow, maybe this is like, but social media has done this for a lot of people in the chronic illness community. That's why it's so important to advocate, I think. But I can understand that your emotions, because it's sad, bro. Like it's like,
Yeah.
you're by yourself going through this thing and we always have that younger child instilled in us, that younger sick child inside of us. And that's tough, bro,
Yeah.
because when you're a child and you're sick and you have nobody to help and you feel by yourself, it's just you can't explain it to anybody unless they've been through it.
Yeah. And dude, it's tough. And like even when like like for me, for example, like dude, my parents, my dad died a long time ago. My mom, like they were great growing up, and they did everything. But like when you have an illness like that, and you're like young, and you can't rationalize it,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, you don't see anyone else with it. You're like, oh, none of my friends have to do this. Like, I can't go to these parties, or I can't do
Yeah.
this, or whatever.
Yeah. Can't be
So yeah,
normal.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And you can't be normal. But also that's a stage of it, but it's also like there's a flip side to it too, because it comes with a lot of wisdom and blessings.
Yeah, oh,
Because
100%.
yeah, when we go through that type of darkness and that type of pain and sadness, if you can withstand that and come out on the other end of it, the blessings and the wisdom that you get from that, nobody can have that because you have to go through the hell first.
No, 100%, 100%. I mean, CF takes a lot from you, but also
Yeah,
like tell you one thing, like people with CF is fucking resilient as hell, man.
you have to
Like,
be. You have no other choice.
yeah,
You have
yeah.
no other choice.
So
Yeah. You're fighting your
yeah,
body
so
off every
it's
day.
yeah, and it's something that like everyone else that has CF will understand. Like you don't get a break from it. It never does. The disease does not take a minute off. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it keeps going, it keeps going.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
it's like a
It's
full-time
relentless.
job.
It's relentless.
Yeah.
But
So
you're handling it very well, so that's also a positive. You're gaining
I
your strength.
appreciate
Yeah, and
that.
you're handling it well, bro. I mean, it's tough. It's not easy to deal with a life-threatening illness your entire life. Like people look at it and have pity, right? They like pity us and oh, you're sick and they think that you're different, right? But it's like you don't understand like yeah, you see me now telling my story, but you don't understand the times when I'm by myself for my entire 30 plus years of life, sitting there wondering when I'm going to die, sitting in a room and I'm googling my illness. I'm googling my illness and it says that I only live to 19 and the
Yeah,
average
dude.
like that what that does to the mind is very very difficult to overcome that. That's just one aspect of the illness. Now we add another
Yeah,
15, 20 things on top of that too. So
yeah.
but yeah, no, I
No, it
understand.
comes at you from all angles, man.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
relentless beast for sure. Well, thank you for sharing that, Matthew. I appreciate it, and
yeah, of course, man.
I think you're doing well with it. Let's talk a little bit about the opportunities that have come from your CF advocacy. Like once you start
Yeah.
advocating, let's say you got rewarded for LA's finest, which can you just explain what that is and like what that was for you, like that award and
Oh, yeah. I mean, so it's what they I got nominated. I don't even know who nominated me, honestly, but
okay,
got nominated for it because I was doing some pro pickleball and doing a lot of teaching in the community and stuff. So and trying to I was also a couple years ago I was the Boomer Esiason Foundation workout warrior of the month because I one thing I love about CF is that like I'm a super physical guy, like, and physical activity is the best treatment for CF. So like,
Absolutely.
I'm super super grateful for that, right? That like the things that I love to do can also work as a treatment for me for my longevity and stuff
Yeah.
like that is like thank God, you know what I mean? Like that's amazing. So, but like with the LA's Finest, award, Natalie kind of reached out and asked if I'd be interested in it, and I was like, hell yeah. So, and then we did some fundraising for it, and
Yeah.
yeah, what a cool night, and that was it was amazing. Like my entire care team was there
Yeah, and your family
for
was
the
there
event.
too, right?
Yeah,
Your whole family.
my mom and my brother. One of my brothers was down there. My brother was CF actually, was
Wow.
the one who was able to come down. So super special to have them
Yeah.
there for it, and yeah, it was a really cool experience. And I would love to continue to keep doing stuff in the CF community. I honestly I struggle with knowing how to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
with the role of getting involved and how to make an impact. But that is something that I would love to do because I've been so blessed with my health and everything. So I would love to give back.
Yeah, absolutely. If you ever need help with that, I can definitely lead you in the right direction.
Yeah,
We can
absolutely,
we can talk a little bit about it.
for
I want
sure.
I want to get into what you do for your career, I think it is, with the pickleball. How did you end
Yeah.
up being, because pickleball in Los Angeles is like it's turned into some sort of cult or something.
Oh,
Everybody's playing
dude,
pickleball here. So
dude, it's
it's just
it's
like
blowing up
it's
everywhere,
taken over the whole city. Everybody plays pickleball. So can you just
dude.
talk a little bit about like that journey and now
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
a professional, right, Matthew?
I play a handful of pro tournaments a year. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
problem is I'm like what you would call like a low level pro. So like
Okay.
I'm not making a ton of money at these
Right.
tournaments. I may win a round or two, but I make most of my money teaching. But I played college tennis, so I was always been a good. It was always a really good athlete growing up,
Right.
and played college tennis. And then one of my college tennis teammates, this guy Tyson McGuffin, he's been top 5 in the world for pickleball.
Wow.
For like 8 9 years, and so he was trying to get me into it, and then finally around like 2019, I started playing a little bit, and I just got hooked. And I still do a little tennis teaching, but dude, I ditched the rackets for paddles,
Yeah.
and dude, it's opened up a ton of really cool opportunities. So I get to do like I travel 20 weeks of the year all over, just
Wow,
teaching
that's
these
awesome.
camps, and yeah. So and also it's like a great. It's like so good for my lungs. I feel great when I'm out there. I really think pickleball is great. I think for people in the CF community because like the barrier to entry pretty low, right? Like I mean, you can be playing. I could take someone who has very little athletic ability, has never played pickleball, and in 15
Right.
minutes get them actually playing.
Right.
Whereas like tennis, other sports like that, good luck, never gonna happen. So I
Yeah.
think that's the reason the it's exploding in popularity is because I could take you out your very first time ever playing. You would be playing the game, having fun in 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
So it's very easy to learn. Um, but then it also gets much more layered at the higher level,
Sure.
but at the beginning stages, you can just get out there, start playing and having fun, get a good workout in, get your lung function up. So like, dude, I'm a pickleball junkie, dude. It is like, it is honestly, it's pretty sad, dude. I'm like, all my social circles, all pickleball.
That's
When I'm
good.
at
Well,
home,
there's a social aspect to it too, right? Like
oh
you're
no,
meeting
dude,
every.
100%, 100%. Like I've been around the tennis community for a long time, like, and the pickleball community is like infinitely friendlier, and, way
Yeah,
more
yeah.
welcoming.
Right.
Tennis
Not a,
community
yeah.
pretty uptight, pretty
Yeah, yeah.
entitled,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
overall, not super welcoming.
Well, tennis is
So
more of
yeah,
like it's more of like a wealthy person sport, right? Tennis.
yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, and
I mean,
like,
there's wealthy
dude,
people that play pickleball too, but I think it's more like
yeah,
I don't know. I
you
have a
could just
different vibe.
go up to No, you could go up to the park with a crappy paddle, and just and you can still have a really good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, it is funny how it's exploded. So like the first ever pro tournament I went to was like 2015, 2016. It was like the jankiest thing you've ever seen in your life. Like all a bunch of old people, like it was weird. Now, I mean, there's a full pro tour. There's commentary that, I mean, people are making good money. It's televised. Like all the pro events are they're pretty sweet now. It's cool to see how it's grown in the last like 5 to 6 years.
And do you like, do people know you have CF that are playing against you and you coaching or no?
So some people, yeah, I'd say because I'm pretty well connected in the pro pickleball scene. The people that are close to me know, but no, I don't go. I try not to go broadcast it, but then of course
Yeah.
if I lose, I'm like, well, hey, congrats, you beat someone with a chronic illness.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Then you start. Only when you
yeah,
lose you broadcast it, right?
yeah, it's like congrats, dude. Like I was supposed
Yeah,
to die like
exactly.
15 years ago. So
Yeah, right.
yeah,
And
sure.
what is the reception that you get when people find out you have CF?
Oh, dude, it's always positive. Like, I mean, especially because dude, I'm in pretty decent shape. I work out all the time. Like
Yeah,
I like to get after it. So like even for someone who doesn't have CF, I'm in pretty decent shape.
sure.
So like yeah, generally they're pretty surprised. And it's more of just like, oh, I'd have no idea. And
Right.
it's usually something like I'll use my inhaler or something in the last, like, well, you have asthma. I'll be like, if
Yeah.
only.
Right. Yeah.
But
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, so no, they generally pretty surprised. But I'd say most people when they find out I have CF, I'd say at least half of them don't even know what it is.
Yeah. And that's your
So
opportunity to kind of give some knowledge.
yeah. So it's yeah, it's cool, man. It's the reception is always it's never negative,
Yeah. 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 I see.
So that's a good thing.
Right. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. Matthew, if you could leave anybody with something that's watching this that has CF and has gotten some motivation from your story and the way you were expressing how you feel, what would you leave them with that you've learned over the years of hardships with this illness? What would you leave the maybe like a young kid watching or somebody that's your age or that's going through the same thing? What would you leave them with?
Oh man, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I would say one thing that for CF is that, dude, you got to at least try to stay positive, try to stay hopeful, right? Like at least for me, there's kind of like life pre-tricapta,
Right.
like post-tricapta.
Same.
Um, Pre-tricapta, I had I was not looking forward to the future at all. In fact, I would never even think about the future because it just freaked me out so much. Because I was just like, oh, great, so I can keep getting just sicker until I die. Yeah, well, awesome.
Yeah.
But then post tricapta, really crazy, and just how that kind of changes everything. Because I went from never thinking about the future. Like I never ever once thought about being older than like 40 years old. Like that was a thought that
Really?
almost had been blocked. Like my
Yeah.
brain
Yeah.
almost like wouldn't allow it.
No, I understand.
So like
Yeah.
when people talk about getting old and stuff like that, like I'm just like I never ever even entertained the thought until Tricapta. And yeah, it's crazy how much doors opened up from that. So.
What changed through Tricapta for you?
Well, dude, but before Tricapta, I was coughing, nonstop. It was nonstop coughing. It was nonstop mucus production. I couldn't even sleep throughout the night.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't allow myself to be in relationships because my health was just not there, and like I was always having to clear mucus, and I was so embarrassed by it, and like.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, like I never had a serious relationship until after 30 years old because I just wouldn't even
Wow.
allow myself
Damn.
to entertain the idea of it
Yeah.
until I got off of Tricapta or got on Tricapta. And I gained like 15 pounds when I got on Tricapta. I stopped coughing, I stopped producing mucus. So that actually well, the thing that Tricapta gave me was a little bit of hope for the future, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, because
Huge.
yeah, so like, man, it's tough too now because like with the advancements in medicine, life with CF is so much different now than it used to be, and I think can continue hopefully to trend upward for people. So I'd say my biggest thing is to keep positive, keep hope up, dude, and adhere to your treatments. Like you've got to keep your baseline health up as much as possible. Because I mean, there was a while where I wouldn't do my treatments, and my health was always pretty shaky and stuff, and like now I'm just like I'm pretty religious with staying on top of that stuff, and because when the new treatments come out, you want to make sure that you're healthy enough to be able to take them.
Right. No, of course.
So
And how do you like this might be a tough question, but how do you keep that hope? Because it's like from my perspective, like it's so easy for us to be like, yeah, just stay positive and keep hope. But that's it's like
yeah, it's
there's
so much
so
easier
many
said than
layers to
done,
that.
right?
So how do
And
you keep that hope and positivity in your own mind? Like, do you have certain things that you do or
yeah, I mean, dude, it's funny that you say that because, right, like as I'm spewing all this bullshit about being positive and hopeful, like, dude, when I got really sick at the beginning of this year, um, dude, my mental health went in the toilet, dude.
oh
If
yeah,
if
the
you were,
mental health is yeah.
uh, like, so it's easier for me to say that now when I'm feeling pretty good, it's a lot harder, like when your lung function's down, it is really hard to
Right.
to keep that up because dude, a lot of times like when your lung function is down, like you can't even do anything to get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
It's
you're
a
just
brick
kind of
wall.
yeah, dude. Like that's really tough. That's really really tough. You gotta like just everyone has to find kind of their own way. Like for
Yeah.
me, I would try to lean in with my family, my friends, people close to me. If you have faith, that's gonna be a big one.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, like I gotta stay positive because like, what's the other alternative?
Right.
Like it's you kind of have to. For me, like I got no choice. You got to keep grinding. You got to keep going because the alternative is like you're screwed. Um, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough, dude. I've struggled tremendously with my mental health with CF, like particularly growing up and like when I got into young adulthood, like tons of drug use, just around my feet. Like, yeah, it was. I'm saying stay positive, but there's years of my life where I was not. I didn't have hope, and I wasn't positive at all. So
And what did
I,
you
I
lean on? You said you had like problems with the substances, but is that what you leaned on in that time of your life to get through that time? Or
yeah, because I just felt, dude, like I felt so uncomfortable with my body and my future of what's going on, right? And like I didn't know how to internalize it. And I was like, well, I just don't want to deal with this, So I'm just gonna get like, dude, I struggled with opiates for years, dude, with amphetamines. Like, dude, I was on like anything that would make me just not feel how I'm feeling. Um,
wow.
yeah, it was really bad. It was really bad. That was actually why I left Spokane. Is I basically fled. Like I was like, I have to get the hell out of here, dude. Because I was like smoking heroin. I mean, it was really really bad. Um,
Wow.
so yeah.
Yeah, that 'cause that's very interesting. And it's you and a lot of other people have the same story. I don't think you're alone here. How did that feel with a chronic illness and doing hard narcotic? Like, what was that? Did you obviously you didn't care if you lived or died at that point, right?
No, I didn't care because, like, honestly, like at that stage, between like 18, I'd say to like 27 years old, like that was when I really thought, like, okay, like I'm gonna die pretty young. There's no real point in doing whatever the hell it is I'm doing. Really just kind of floating through life. So I was like, dude, if I'm gonna fucking die super young, I may as well be high and have fun doing this. Like I would rather go out that way than from a prolonged just decrease in lung function. Um, so like yeah, I just didn't care at all. I was just an absolute wrecking ball.
And
For
how long
sure.
did that go on for, Matthew? How long did that last?
Dude, I was doing pills in high school, like my senior year of high school until and dude, do you actually want to know how I got off? It's actually pretty. It's pretty. So I had a blowout psychedelic experience on DMT, and that got me off heroin in opiates cold
Can you
turkey.
break that down for us a little bit?
I mean, I can try, dude. This would be like a 6 day podcast if I really did dive in
Yeah, if you could
super deep
just try
into
to
it.
summarize a little bit of it.
Yeah, man. Like, so I didn't believe in God until I had that DMT trip. And yeah, dude, it was. I was just so blown away by it, and I had like contact with my dead dad and everything. I mean, all the stuff is going to make me sound like I'm a lunatic, right? But yeah, had that trip, and that was like a one that just slapped me so hard in the face that I didn't even know what to do. But I struggled with opiates for like 9 years, and like I actually the week that same week I did the DMT, I went on the worst heroin bender of my life, right? And it was really bad. It was really bad. And then I did the DMT, and like, dude, cold turkey, never touch another opiate ever again. Like it was crazy.
So it
It
scared you
was
maybe a little bit. Something
oh
scared you.
dude, so it scared me like, but also like, dude, it kind of just showed me like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Literally just throwing your life away. You know what I mean? Like just pouring gasoline and fucking lighting it on fire. So it was great because like a big blowout psychedelic. It's like I left my body, right? Like, and I was able to kind of like almost see myself from like a other person view, where because it's really easy to tell other people what to do, right? Like it's hard to tell yourself what to do. So it's almost like I could see myself. I was like, God, I'm a dipshit. So yeah, that punched me so hard in the face that I was able to really turn it around. Like that was that moment. I will never ever forget that.
And how long ago
And
was that, Matthew? How long ago? How long have
that
you
was
been clean?
26. That was 2 months before I moved to LA. So it was March of 2016.
And you've been clean ever since.
And never touched another opiate or hard drug since. I love myself some edibles, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
don't. Yeah, I don't haven't touched a hard drug since.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank
Thank you
you.
for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that because I know that's sometimes tough.
Yeah,
Matthew, really,
that was wild.
yeah, that's crazy. But thank you for being honest and transparent about it. But Matthew, we're running out of a little bit of time. I just want to, before we go, I'd like you to share with us where we can find you. If anybody wants pickleball lessons from you, maybe, or if they want to
Yeah, 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 yeah.
if they want to reach out and give you some support, how do we find you?
Dude, so you can find me on Instagram. My ad is at Matthew.Marceau.5. So I'm in the LA area, so I live downtown LA. And if you're around here and need some pickleball, if I'm in town, hit me up. Also for camps, dude, like we're all over the country. And you can find all of our camp schedules all at TysonMcGuffin.com. And I always post on my Instagram, like when we're coming to a city, I post up. So if you're let's see, we're going to be in Spokane, Washington, coming up, and then we actually have a couple camps here in LA during the summer. So if you're local, get your butt at a camp, and you'll see me there.
Absolutely. Maybe I'll come check you guys out and see what's
Come
going
on,
on
dude.
with
We
you.
got dude. We can get you on the pickle court, dude.
I would
You
love that.
busting some heads.
I would love that. Um,
Hell yeah.
well, yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on today. I really appreciate you sharing your story. And
Of
everybody that's
course.
listening, go follow Matt. Go show him some love on his Instagram. This episode will be out in a few days. And I thank you for Matthew for joining us. And please subscribe to the channel and share this with your family and friends. We will be back next week. And I appreciate you guys for the support. Bye bye.
Thank you, James. Appreciate it, brother.
Of course.